Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the heathen, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in this law does he hide it sunrise and sundown. Him a go deal like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth fruit in his season. Him leaf never a go wither, and whatsoever him do shall prosper. Yea! The heathen them now there, so them there like a chaff, which the wind driveth away. Therefore, the heathen them never go turn upon judgment, nor the sinner man them in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord God Jah loveth the way of the righteous, and the way of the sinner man them. Always and always I go perish. Let the people of the Most High Jah say, Jah! Yes, my name Blakk Rasta, and of course, this is the Black Pot, aka Kuku Show them up, where we speak truth to power. In every traditional African home, we have a black pot, and when it rests on the fire, we know something sumptuous is cooking. What is delicious cooking today? My brother, my sister, today we have a lot of things to talk about, and I only need strength from the Almighty Father. Remember, we are in the service of God and country for the development of our people, our continent, our land. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushono. And the very first thing I want to talk about today, I've decided to title Goat Loving Ghana Judiciary Cautioned. Goat Loving Ghana Judiciary Cautioned. My brother, my sister, we all know Albert Kandapa, right? He is the Minister of National Security. Fine gentleman. When you see him, you know that this is a fine gentleman. Forget that recently he was caught in front of a slave queen's camera. Yes, he was on national duty. Then he started, talking to a slave queen, a prostitute who videoed him without him knowing. Minister of National Security, so analog-minded and not digitalized. My brother, my sister, it looks like Ghana forgave him too soon. He never came out to apologize, not even the president. He went on a national assignment, on national duty. And instead of dealing with the nation's issues, he rather went running after skirts and pants. My brother, my sister, he's been quiet from that time. But many people have touted him as a man of integrity. It probably was a mistake, but he was not man enough to come out and tell us, oh, I am sorry, I did it. To err is human. Find some space in your hearts to forgive me. So arrogant, he never did that for whatever reason. He had no business unleashing his libido on national duty. My brother, my sister, this is interesting, right? Now, Albert Kandapa is in charge of national security. Remember, he was the same person who said that they cannot divulge the president's travel cost, all because of national security, right? A nice way of cheating the taxpayer. You can blow our money, yet you will not be able to tell us how much of our money you are blowing, traveling so senselessly. My brother, my sister, Albert Kandapa has spoken again, and this time around is most interesting. And it's all over in the media. He's still talking about national security, but this time around, he has decided to meet some members of the judiciary. What is the reason? It's all over in the media. Albert Kandapa is saying, watch it, interpolation of the law must not always be one-sided. And this is Kandapa to the judiciary. Does this mean that in the execution of duties relating to the judiciary, the law, do we have some form of bias? Do we have some people running helter-skelter with goats for the judiciary so that justice can be turned into injustice? Now, by the kind courtesy of Anas Armiyahu Anas, we saw how much appetite some members of our judiciary have for goat meat. Now, it's not just the ordinary goat. It's the goat with the long beard. Yes, the goat with the very long one. The man that has a funny smell. I hear when you cook it and add a little bit of onion and pepper into it, it gives you a nice flavor. My God have mercy. Ghanaian lawyers and judges, in fact the judiciary, a huge number of them seem to love this goat meat. And by taking one goat, they are ready to free a hardened criminal. My brother, my sister, unleash this hardened murderer into the society to continue on the murderous spree. My brother, my sister, by the kind courtesy of Anas Armiyahu Anas, we got to know this. And we want to doff our hearts and say thank you, Anas Armiyahu Anas, for risking your life to expose some of this rot that we have in our country. But Kandapar has spoken that the interpolation of the law must not always be one-sided. Of course, we have a judiciary that has been criticized widely around the world and even in Ghana. When it comes to national issues, it looks like it has to go in favor of who is in power. Which president is in power? Which party is in power? Now, if the judiciary does not dance to the tune of the government in power, then it looks like the judiciary will not be seen as working. In recent times, we have seen how the judiciary has worked very tirelessly. In fact, to further degrade its power, my brother, my sister, to execute the law properly. We have seen how even lawyers have decried situations that were so clear. Apart from the fact that some of them were caught on tape, taking goats and turning the justice system around and making a mockery of it. We have also seen how some people in just the recent past, in fact, were accused of taking bribe in order to deal with this kind of law from the judiciary. Now, Kandapar is saying, if this country will be thrown into any war, any confusion, then it will most probably come from the judiciary. Remember the e-levy. Remember that it's in the course already. Remember, my brother, my sister, how many times we have to resort to the court system, to the judiciary, to be able to get a certain form of justice. Will people still believe in the judiciary? Kandapar is worried, and he has come out to tell the judiciary, you have to be up and running, or else this country is going to be in doldrums. Now, there's another lawyer that I respect so much. He used to be the ambassador of Ghana to Canada. Yes. We call him Aikwe Otu. He's a nice gentleman. I've interviewed him a number of times on radio, and he speaks nicely. I love him. Now, he has decried what Kandapar has said. He asks, Kandapar, did you speak to lawyers before you came out with this thing about the interpolation of the law going one-sided? Are you indirectly trying to tell the judiciary to favor the government in power? Or what exactly is it? And you can see it. He said, I'm sorry to say that I don't think that Kandapar sought legal advice before making that statement. And that's Aikwe Otu. My brother, my sister. Now, when you look at some of these things, you seem to marvel. And the big question I want to leave you with is Kandapar in his own comfort zone, looking out through the window and seeing that the judiciary is being manipulated? Is there some manipulation going on? Now, recently in Parliament, we saw how people chewed ballot paper like goats. We saw how they punched each other's big fat pot bellies. We saw how they hurled insult at each other like kindergarten children, yet they want us to call them honorables. My brother, my sister, we saw how the minority walked out of Parliament. We also saw the majority sometimes walking out of Parliament, right? And we saw how some members, in fact, of the parliament, I'm talking about our MPs, sometimes they were present and they were marked absent. It is the parliament that makes laws. And these laws are supposed to be upheld. My brother, my sister, now the legislature works alongside the judiciary and some other such forces to be able to bring a certain kind of harmony to our people. Now, the Minister of National Security seems to be seeing that the judiciary is quite biased and has called the judiciary to caution the judiciary so the judiciary can move away from their love for goats and now love human beings. My brother, my sister, this is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonomo, where we speak truth to power. Now, the next thing I would like to look at is an interesting thing. And anytime I talk about an issue like this, it hurts me that bad, but it is my duty to talk about this. Now, this one I have titled Kennedy Agyepong, the master blackmailer. Now, my brother, my sister, we all know who Kennedy Agyepong is, right? He's a member of parliament for Asin Central. It looks like his people love him a lot because they've kept him in parliament over and over and over. Now, this is a man who is so boastful of how much money he has. He's so boastful about the amount of money he spends on his watches. He's so boastful to the point that he says some people are not even fit to clean his shoes. My brother, my sister, as it stands right now, some very interesting things are happening. Kennedy Agyepong in the past has done some very interesting things. And these interesting things, my brother, my sister, have made the whole nation applaud him. What did he do? In the case of Wyoming, remember it was Kennedy Agyepong who brought out the rot. And he told us how much money we were going to lose because Wyoming was nothing but a common thief. And true to his words, we were able to get Wyoming, cough out some money, at least, even if he hasn't coughed out everything. Wyoming coughed out a lot of money that he stole from the Ghanaian people. From that time, some people saw Kennedy Agyepong as a very powerful force to reckon with. But probably he was building his career as a blackmailer. We all remember how he and Efia Schwarzenegger descended into the gutters. He threw out, in fact, his reputation as an MP and descended into the dirty gutters with a comedian. And I'm talking about Efia Schwarzenegger, who had said some nasty things about him. He came back also talking nasty about him. And he supposedly, or better still, allegedly released some naked photographs, some nude photographs of Efia Schwarzenegger. Many people decried it, but at the end of the day, he seemed to have had the upper hand when Efia Schwarzenegger went all quiet on him. My brother, my sister, that probably gave him the impetus, the energy, the adrenaline to continue with his blackmailing business. Why is Blakk Rasta going through this for so long? My brother, my sister, let us cut this conversation short. Hear me now as I speak to you, brethren. Now, Kennedy Agyepong is a man that I love, and I will not hide my love for him. But anytime he goes wrong, I think that we would have to bring him back to Batan. Hear me now. Now, the president has become a villain by flying around the world without respect for our concerns. The president cries that the country is broke, yet he is able to afford exorbitant fees to fly around the world in private jets. In fact, Professor Ade just yesterday came out and said, Mr. President, flying around the world in expensive private jets is just like adorning yourself in kente and going to the farm. As to what he means by that, your guess is as good as mine. And that is where it is. Some of these things, you see them and you want to choke. What a thing. You puke. Akufo-Addo private jet saga akin to a poor man donning kente to farm. Now, when you don kente, you know that it is time for a certain festivity, right? You don't wear kente ordinarily on the street like that. And when you are a poor man, it might be difficult for you to afford kente. So if you're a poor man and continue to wear kente to the farm, where you are supposed to wear dirty things because you are going to be involved in tilling the land and it's all about working with dirt, then you know that you are making a mockery of yourself. This is what Professor Ade says. My brother, my sister, the former rector of Gimpa has decried the flying around of Nana Akufo-Addo. But Nana Akufo-Addo will not listen to anybody. Listen to what Ayikwe Otu, former ambassador to Canada from Ghana. He's a lawyer too. Hey, you know what he also said? He said, listen, Mr. President, the way you are flying around the world and people are talking to you and you are not listening, this will send you back into what? Into what? Opposition. It is capable of sending you home. And look at it. Concerns on Akufo-Addo's travels can send the NPP to opposition in 2024. And this was said only last year. You can see it. December 3rd, 2021. But Mr. President is so arrogant. He will not even listen to his own party people. Now, my brother, my sister. So there is a consensus that the president is not being judicious with his flying around and the blowing of the national coffers. We all have established that it is not right. Oh my God. Listen to what Ayikwe Otu said. Presidential travels, Akufo-Addo should be listening to concerns raised. And this is from Tree News, a credible source of news. But Agyapong doesn't seem to agree with everybody. But that's okay. Not all of us can agree all the time. Majority will certainly carry the vote. Ablakwa, Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa is a man who takes time to study the presidents traveling around the world, and he exposes some of the figures involved. And we all applaud him for that. Now, a couple of days ago, Agyapong was at his blackmailing best again. He came out. And I heard him very loudly. What did he say? He said in 2009, Ablakwa traveled there and went there and went there and traveled first class and went here and went here and went here. 2010, he went here and went here and went here and went there and went there. And I was expecting him to say he flew in a private jet or he flew private jets. But my brother, my sister, as you can see in the headlines, Agyapong fires Ablakwa over president private jet accusation. Mr. Agyapong, yes, I know you are a member of the NPP. And I know that you do the president's bidding. In fact, he's so hypocritical to the point that if things don't go his way, he threatens his own party that he will drag the party down. That's one thing I don't like about him. Now, why did he talk about Ablakwa? He says Ablakwa is a hypocrite. You have been flying around the world and you don't want the president to fly around. Jesus have mercy. Number one is the president and the other one is an MP. Let's even say at the time that he was flying around, he probably was a deputy minister of state. That is not equal to being the president. Now, my brother, my sister, hey, hear me now. Hey, if the president flies around, he requires more security than a member of parliament, true or false. Ablakwa flew around and he didn't go by private jet. Mr. President is spending over 500,000 American dollars flying to just 2 countries and back. How much did Ablakwa spend on his journeys? We are crying because of the cost. We are not necessarily crying because the president loves flying, but the cost. In fact, I'm sure that if the president had gone in a wheelbarrow, even if he had gone 10 million times, nobody would care, right? Because at the time that we said the country is broke, yet you are flying all over the world more than Napoleon Bonaparte. We have a problem. My brother, my sister, Agyapong, my problem with him is that when he takes the issue, Instead of attacking the issue, he puts the issue away and then he starts to blackmail. Your father is a thief. Your father was caught 20 years ago stealing a goat. Your mother was a prostitute. Your uncle stole a doko in 2001 and blah, blah, boom, boom, boom. That's what he says. When the issue at stake is flying private jet. How many people have observed that? If I'm lying, tell me I'm lying. That is the issue. Look at the issue with Kevin Taylor. Kevin Taylor brought up issues that you murdered some people. Ahmed Swale and the rest. And what did he say? Your father has a rotten sore. His leg is full of sores and the sores are smelling. Your father goes to bed easing on himself. I mean, these are childish. Absolutely childish. My brother, Kennedy Agyepong said that the Parliament of Ghana is so cheap that any Tom, Dick, and Harry can just be a parliamentarian. My brother, he said it, and now they are dragging him to the so-called Privileges Committee. Some members of the opposition say, let it go, and they gave some reasons. But Blakk says, no. Let us hold the dignity of the parliament. Let us take them there and find out exactly why they absented themselves more than 15 times. What's the problem with this? Now, if you know that your hands are clean, then you don't fear to go to equity. But Kennedy Agyepong is not happy about this. He says Blakk has never worked. He's a lazy man who's only making money from his politics. How many times would we sit down and encourage blackmailers, cheap blackmailers? I don't like blackmailers. All they do is to scavenge for some dirty skeletons from your cupboard, and they use it to blackmail you. My brother, my sister, as long as we encourage Kennedy Agyepong so-called exposing the people, my brother, my sister, instead of dealing with the issues at stake, then we are in for some big trouble. I don't have a problem if you are exposing 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5, 20 umpteen things, and they are linked to the point you want to make. What point did Kennedy Agyepong make? That the president's travels are necessary and that the travels are okay when you yourself recently refused to fly, my brother, my sister, private jet because you felt that the country was broke. When they were flying you in from America to come and vote for e-levy, they wanted to fly you in via a private jet. But you said no because the country is broke. Now you have your pot-bellied president flying left, right, and center in private jets. And somebody is bringing it to the fore. You are fighting the person and bringing out his flying history. What has that got to do with this? Okay, Blakk is a hypocrite. Does that make the president's flying right? Let's think. Let's think. Hey, blackmailing is worse than bribery. Think about it, brethren, or else in these times, we will all end up suffering. I am so sick and tired of Kennedy Agyepong's blackmail strategy. Blackmail. Now you said that Anas goes round to catch people on the brick, and then he goes back to the people and asks them for money, or else he would publish their rot. How differently are you behaving than Anas? That's if Anas is doing it at all. You come out and say, this person has done that, that person has done that, that person has done that. And at the end of the day, my brother, my sister, it's all about blackmail to get to a certain power. People come to you begging you not to expose them. Hey, my brother, my sister, blackmail will not take us anywhere. And it's better we all open our eyes and stop listening to blackmail. To blackmail is a crime. And we need to cut out that. It doesn't matter who is involved. Kennedy Agyepong, Che Bonsu, or Alban Bagbin, whoever it is, nobody is bigger than the country. If they collapse this country, the country is falling, it's going to fall on all of us. It's not going to fall on the head of Kennedy Agyepong alone. We have the power to defend our own country, the right to defend our own country against blackmailers, or else we all will go down the drain. This is the Black Pot, a.k.a. Kukushunomo, where we speak truth to power. I have a quote for you, and this quote directly explains what I just talked about. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushunimo, where we speak truth to power. Now, my brother, my sister, remember we are live on Pan African TV, live on Ghana Web TV, live on Loud Silence TV, and of course on our own YouTube page, Black Empire Media. And our Black is spelled B-L-A-K-K. 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 My brother, my sister, this is the Black Pot, aka Kukushunumo. And the next thing I want to look at is about Dumsor. Have you heard that Dumsor is about to start again? And I'm hearing that it's supposed to run for 11 weeks. Greedco has come to warn us. So Ghana seems to be bracing itself in readiness for the 11 weeks of Dumsor. My brother, my sister, when you go to Nigeria actually supplies oil to Ghana. In fact, we get some power from Nigeria. But Nigeria itself is the present-day darkest country. Which country in the world is as dark as Nigeria? And when I say dark, I'm talking about power outage. If you have ever been to Nigeria, it's like you are in a factory. Everywhere is generators. They call it generator. Everywhere. Such a great country. They have oil. They have the power to supply power to their people with power. But no, they sell the oil out. They take the money and their own people are in darkness. Factories in Nigeria are suffering all because of the so-called NEPA. We say Dumsor in Ghana. Now when Nigerians hear about the fact that in Ghana when there's going to be a power outage, it is announced. In fact, they ache. They shiver. They are like, wow, what a country. My brother, my sister, we have reached a certain pedestal. But we have to strive to make it better. Why are we getting 11 weeks of Dumsor in some parts of Ghana? Now, Greedco says that, from Achimota area to some other areas, they are going to replace some machines, and for that matter, the country would go into darkness at some portions for 11 solid weeks. But what is the truth? You remember recently they said they were going to replace some machines and whatever, and therefore the country went into darkness. My brother, my sister, hear me now. You can continue lying to the people and playing politics with the people. But when the fundamentals are weak, your lies will expose you. Hear me now. Do we owe Nigeria money for oil? My brother, my sister, some big companies, big companies around the country are not even paying for electricity. Recently, the Ghana airport went into total darkness, all because they are not ready to pay. In the Ashanti region, where the Otunfo himself sits, my brother, my sister, so many people were not paying. Illegal connections that disrupted a lot of power supply. At the end of the day, many people were arrested and some people paid. But the huge companies that are not paying, you'll be shocked if I told you which companies these are. So many, they are not paying. And once they are not paying, it is very, very difficult for national supply of power to flow. My brother, my sister, watch this. Now, according to the ECG, the Ministry of Communications owe 5.080752.37. That's well over 5 million Ghana cedis. Ministry of Communication. They are there making noise about e-levy. Back. You owe electricity. United Nations Development Program, UNDP. How come an international organization owes electricity? Watch how much they owe. 558,000. That's over 500,000, including National Information Technology Agency, NITA. Look how much they owe. Over 1.5 million Ghana cedis. Internal Audit Agency, the agency that is supposed to go around auditing, itself owes. Itself cannot audit itself. Look at it. Kofi Annan Center of Excellence. Where is the excellence when you continue owing electricity and you don't want to pay? And the Economic and Organized Crime Office, IOCO, that is supposed to be running after thieves. They themselves are thieves. If you owe electricity and you are not paying it, my brother, my sister, you are still in power. Aren't you still in power? Then you go after the boy in Nima who owes 17 Ghana cedis. You lock him up, beat him to pulp. Yet the Economic and Organized Crime Office, IOCO, itself owes 277,000 plus. My brother, my sister, just look at it. How would you continue to have electricity flowing? Are you crazy? Are you crazy? There are some police stations that even owe electricity. The Parliament House recently went dark. Boom. No electricity. They owe electricity. Why are you taking the power supply into your hands? And yet, when there's going to be Dumsor, these idiots who owe electricity, my brother, my sister, they don't have their lights going off. It is you and I, those who dwell in the ghetto, we are those who have our lights going off. The hospitals are those that have people dying night and day, all because of Dumsor. My brother, my sister, look at those who are owing. Recently, Ghana Airport, boom. Look at it. According to the ECG, the Ministry of Communications, 5 million plus Ghana cedis. United Nations Development Program, is also owing. International. And worst of it all, Economic and Organized Crime Office. It is criminal to use electricity and not pay. It is so saddening that we are killing, my brother, my sister, the fowl that lays the golden egg. Nigeria is waiting for us to pay for the oil it supplied us, the power it gave us to give to our people. Now, you would always come back with tricks and tell the whole Ghana that, we are fixing some machines left, right, and center. For that matter, here would go off, that would go off. Listen, posterity will judge you guys so harshly. All those big companies, especially governmental organizations, they owe more than the individual in Nima, more than the individual in Choco. Yet they start chasing Choco, chasing Nima. I'm not saying it's wrong to chase. But remember, as you are chasing those ones, you chase the bigger thieves as well. In our jailhouses, it's only small, petty thieves who are locked up. But the bigger ones like Wyoming and the rest, they walk free. The bigger ones who steal night and day from us are walking free. Where is the justice? This is what Kandapa is talking about, This is what Kandapa is talking about. If the judiciary would interpolate the law one-sidedly, then it will be deadly. Nobody wants that. When you are walking to an American court or a British court, you know that at least 80% you're going to get justice. Not in our courts. It's about who pays more. If you have the money, how many people would not even bother go into any of the courthouses? One, they delay. They tarry. They are sluggish. They are so snailish, so tortyish. My brother, my sister, when you look at this, you shiver. Where is the justice system? Justice delayed is justice denied. My brother, my sister, to all the companies that owe the ECG, you are those causing Dumsor in Ghana. I have a meter that is prepaid. The moment I'm left with 1 Ghana cedi, it will blink and draw an alarm that will ring in my whole area and embarrass me. Every 2 seconds we hear ping, 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 and the whole area will get to know that Blakk Rasta owes ECG money. My brother, my sister, I have to top it up or else it goes off. Yet the bigger thieves, they steal from ECG through illegal what? To God be the glory. My brother, my sister, this is the Black Pot, aka Kukushunamo, a nation that does not support itself, a nation that is divided against itself shall never stand. This is the Black Pot. My name, Blakk Rasta. When I return, more fire. Drum. This is the when you feast and toast, we will bring the fire that you require to burn your way to total liberation. It is time for the Kuchoko Roots Festival 2022, where we take the roots to the roots, where we take the Kuchoko from the ghetto to the grotto. Date is Friday, 15th April 2022. Time is 6 p.m. until you drop, and rate is only 50 Ghana cedis. It is happening live at the Alliance Francaise behind the Opebia House, right there at 37. Hear me now. Now playing live is the ever powerful Blakk Rasta, your Kuchoko legend, and of course Rex Sobar, Ghana's high life legend, and other fire blazers like Fee Rankin, Blackati, TK, Eddie Wayori, Zendima, and of course the evergreen Vibration Kings Band. Make a date and don't be late. You must come and witness real red hell on Easter Friday. Come, let us bury Satan with Kuchoko, 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 Bam, Kuchoko, Kuchoko.
Mr. President, why you dey lie so? Before election, you tell me you be angel. When you sick, you run go a London. When we sick, we die for Kolebo. Mr. President, why you wicked so?
Skip a judge.
Black Pot, Coco show them.
Go on, skip a judge.
Black Pot, Coco show them.
Is the Black Pot, aka Kukushunamo, where we speak truth to power. We normally don't like to criticize, but we will only criticize if we have to build. We only criticize to build and not to destroy. This is the Black Pot. Now, my brother, my sister, we have so many more things to talk about. Hear me now. Now, you heard about the National Cathedral, right? And that we needed how much? 100 million American dollars to build a useless cathedral. Now, we all remember the president of Ghana traveled all the way to Israel, imported a stone that was flown all the way from Israel in a private jet to Ghana to be used as the foundation for that national cathedral. Right? It sounds like an announcing story, but it is the truth. President of Ghana flew all the way to Israel and got a stone from Israel, because Israel is the holiest land ever. They said they had cut part of the Wailing Wall of Israel, where Solomon used to pray to God. And then they brought it to Ghana. The Israeli ambassador was there. There was a sword cutting, and then they all clapped. We also heard about the fact that they said the National Cathedral would have all the tree fruits or fruit trees that were mentioned in the Bible. And that they would have a certain kind of, what is that thing called? A a canteen? Or is it a dining hall or a chop bar that will serve almost all the foods mentioned in the Bible? My brother, my sister, it looks like some people are still living in oblivion. So many people talked about it. By the kind courtesy of COVID-19, the whole project stalled. How can you be building a cathedral for God? The same God who told you that he does not live in brick houses, houses made of brick and mortar. How can you leave your people aside who have no hospitals, dying night and day, no schools and all that? Today you say the country is broke. Are they still going to build the cathedral? This is a question I'm asking. Will they still build that cathedral? And we live in a country that is so polarized religiously. When you speak, no matter how truthful you are about a certain religious issue, somebody is already targeting you for the next sacrificial lamb. Hey, hear me now. Now the Pentecost church seems to have boosted the dream for the National Cathedral. And this is what I have titled, oh my God, National Cathedral Guest Boost from Pentecost Churches 1 million Ghana cedis. Hear me. Pentecost Church is donating 1 million Ghana cedis so they can build the cathedral. Some people are talking. Why? Why? Can't they use that to build schools? Can't they use that to build hospitals? Can't they? But let us look at the history of the Pentecost church. Don't be so much in a hurry to criticize the church. Let's look at a few things. Then I'll give you the opportunity to look at this issue again. The Pentecost church, for some time now, has been one of the most progressive churches in Ghana. In 2021, it planted 1 million trees. Watch! The Church of Pentecost kickstarts 1 million tree planting project. This is 2021. And you can see it May. 1 million trees. A country that is, in fact, bereft with so much tree cutting and environmental degradation. In the north, shea nut trees are cut. They are felled and used for charcoal. In fact, we don't have windbreaks in Ghana anymore. That is why anytime it rains, we are in trouble. Houses are falling, trees are falling. The few trees that we have are almost, in fact, giving way. Trees, some of them are as old as 400 years. It takes one dirty-mouthed old man to say that it is a witch or a wizard. Then they fell it. 400-year-old tree. Older than your greatest grandfather. One dirty-mouthed old man comes out one day to say that this is a witch, and they fell it. Hey, the Pentecost church planted 1 million trees in Ghana. And in fact, the Pentecost church paid for everything. As if that was not enough, it went all the way to a Grand Quanta. Hey, Pentecost church. And look at what he did. The Pentecost church built this very wonderful facility. Church of Pentecost hands over a camp prison to Ghana Prison Service. Hey, do you know how much it cost them? 3 million Ghana cedis. 3 times what it has donated for the building of the cathedral. And what is contained in that prison? They have an infirmary. You know what an infirmary is? It's a place where you get medical service. When you are sick, you go there. They built how many rooms? In fact, and they provided how many beds? 300 beds for prisoners in a very nice environment. Modern washrooms. They even provided workshops to train some of the prisoners so that when they come out, they would have a certain level of business acumen. My brother, my sister, as if that was not enough, the Church of Pentecost still went ahead and said, this is just the beginning. We are going ahead to build something like this in Obuasi. We will build another one in Kumasi. Oh my God, have mercy. In Sawam and Obuasi. That's what they said. So the Church of Pentecost is human-centered. The Church of Pentecost is looking at how prisoners are suffering. And the Church of Pentecost said one thing that touched my heart when it handed over the Ejura project. You know what the Church of Pentecost said? He said, we are trying to stop that mentality from affecting Ghanaians' thoughts that the prison is punitive, retributive. We want it to be what? Reformative. You want to hear it again? They want to move it away, my brother, my sister, from a punitive system, from a retributive system, to a reformative system. Hallelujah. Kai, akraiti brofo. My God have mercy. Hear me now, brethren. The Church of Pentecost has contributed its quota and is still going on. You know their agenda, taking over the nation. That's what the agenda is. Now, the head of the Pentecost church is a very nice man that I love. Oh my God. Now, after giving out the project, what did he say? He told them, hey, nice man. That's it. We are taking over the nation. We are going to be overly positive. Where Ghanaians fall aside, we will build there. Now, having built this dossier around the Pentecost church, let us look at why a church like this would like to go and give 1 million Ghana cedis for the building of a cathedral. Is it part of taking over the country? I'm asking. Because if the church can plant trees, if the church can build a whole portion of a prison, put a chapel in there, build modern day washrooms and workshops and infirmaries and so on and so forth, why would it want to help build a cathedral? My brother, my sister, these days, our churches are only interested in building institutions for tax. You want to hear it again? They prefer building churches so they can milk the people rather than empowering the people so that they can empower themselves. Just yesterday I heard a preacher man say, it is a curse to give the churches money to church members to start a business. Did you hear that? It's a curse. I don't want to mention his name and give him some level of credibility. It is a curse for the church to give its money to church members to start a business. But it is not a curse for church members to be employed by Muslims, by Hindus, by fetish priests, and be paid so they can come and pay tax to the idiotic church. Did you hear that? Church will not empower its members. Whenever the church is looking for power, it falls on the church members to empower it. But when the people need power, they send them out and tell them to pray to God so that they will get that power. But the Pentecost church has demonstrated enough power that we want to support people. Yes, we want to support different institutions so that they'll be empowered when they come out. But remember, we are still a church. Listen. Even if you wash off the spots of the tiger, the leopard, when you wash off all its spots and it goes away, that does not make it a cat. It is still a leopard. If you wash all the spots off the leopard, that's if you succeed in doing that, that will not turn it into a rabbit. Neither would it turn it into a bird. It is still a leopard. So the Pentecost church is just exhibiting the fact that, yes, it still needs that cathedral. so that that institution can continue to grow. And they will be able to have people go in there and be brainwashed night and day. That's what I see. Hey, the church these days has failed the people so badly. Some time ago, the church was a place for education and spiritual upliftment. Today, the church is a place for laziness. The louder your tongue speaking, the holier you are. Go and sleep and wait till your time comes. Hey, continue fixating your gaze on the pie from the sky. That's what the church preaches, right? When the church is supposed to uplift people, does your pastor know your house? Does your pastor's wife know your house? Gone are the days when pastors will move from house to house to find out your condition of living. Gone are the days when they had church farms so that members could be part of it. Gone are the days when the church used to cook every Sunday for members who came to church. Today, my brother, my sister, all that has been put aside. All we are interested in is the tithe. All we are interested in is how many rich members are in it. There was a man of God in quotes who told me that, listen, it's better to have 10 rich men in your church than to have 1 million poor people. I know you want to hear it again. It's better to have 10 rich men in your church than to have 1 million poor people. Why? You know why? It's not about souls anymore. It's not about how many of the multitudes you will bring to God's throne. It's about how much you are able to milk to enrich yourself and your people. 10 rich men. Hey, I see a certain bomb coming from Al Qaeda. It's coming on your head. The Lord says, bring $1 million and you shall be saved. He signs a check quickly and brings it. Hey, as for the poor man, you can prophesy to him 1 million times. Shake him, turn him upside down, shake him. If you are lucky, coins will fall. But to give you a check, you lie. So they don't want the poor people. How many churches have you gone to and you've seen poor people being prophesied to? Or poor people being given the respect that they deserve? When rich people come, they sit in front. And everybody stands up for them. But when poor people come, they relegate them to the back. My brother, my sister, so the Pentecost church is just demonstrating the fact that much as we love humanity, it is this institution that has made us who we are. So yes, we know people are dying. We know we need hospitals. We know we need that. We still need the church so that we can survive. How many people think I've made sense? How many people think that I am being overly silly? I believe in the church. I love the church. But not this present church. A lot of them are just milking the people. They don't teach wisdom anymore. No wonder some pastors even don't read the Bible. To God be the glory. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonomo, where we speak truth to power. Now, the last thing I want to look at, because my producer is already telling me I'm running out of time, is this thing that I've titled the CEDI'S Magical Rebound. I've heard that the Ghana cedi is rising, right? Against the dollar. Everything is about the dollar. Probably tomorrow we'll find time and look at why it is so. And how Russia is breaking this conundrum. We shall look at it, God willing. Now the president, remember, and I want you to put up that quote from the president. Mr. President said during the COVID-19 that we know how to bring back the economy. That's it. What we do not know is how to bring people back to life. And we all applauded him. Hey, Mr. President has spoken sense. BBC, CNN, Al Jazeera, everybody heralded the arrival of this president. They never knew that This is a president full of gimmicks and lies, with his lying comic vice president. Now, as COVID was unrolling and being unleashed on us, Mr. President came back again and said, Ghana's economy is growing so fast out of the COVID-19. Put up that. Ghana's economy is growing so fast because of the COVID, after the COVID. That's what he said. Hey, and when Mr. President said this, we all sat back and said, oh, really? Ghana's economy is really being fast propelled? All right. And this was published by All Africa. And it was supposed to be coming from the presidency. My brother, my sister, we looked at it and we said, oh, okay. Mr. President says that Ghana's economy is growing fast after the COVID. All right. Okay. So still on the economy, Mr. President kept telling us that it was okay until all the weak fundamentals gave way. And then the whole building came crashing down. Boom. My brother, my sister, how did the economy collapse? President was traveling. He didn't want anybody to talk about his travels. Arrogant. The people around him were throwing around money like bourgeoisies. You all remember Eugene Ahen, right? He works at the presidency. He used to sell Pampers when he was working with Charterhouse. That's him, fine gentleman. Very, very poor guy. The moment he joined the political trade, he became so rich. Look at what he owns. His wife told us how much he had, and we all were shocked that within moments he had transformed from a rich man into a politically rich man. Poor man to rich man. Look at it. Huge mansion on top. Come down another mansion. Come down in the middle, you will see a house by the waterside. They call it waterfront mansion. A big barbering shop and a fleet of cars. A man who was selling Pampers only a year ago, all of a sudden joined the political train and nobody vetted him. He wanted to divorce his wife. They went to court. She succeeded in getting one of their houses and a fleet of cars. But this guy has been quiet for some time now, for obvious reasons. Chairman Wood to me is another guy who goes around throwing around money. Kennedy Agyapong is richer than everybody in Africa. No wonder he said he was building a cold store that would be the biggest in the whole of Africa. Remember he told us that he was going to buy a private jet at a certain age. That age came and passed, no private jet. My brother, my sister, so rich that sometimes he can tell you that you are not fit to even clean his shoes. It's so sad. My brother, my sister. These are the people in power. These are the people showing that there is money. Yet president comes to tell us that the country is broke. I am glad that they say the cedi is rising. The cedi is coming back. But how can you maintain the steady rise of the cedi? How can you sustain it? My brother, my sister, are you still going to be flying exorbitantly? The president doesn't seem to stop. He doesn't seem to want to stop. People around him, are they still stealing? I don't think they would ever stop. It's time for politicians to make money, and they don't care how many people die. They will steal and steal and steal to enrich themselves and kill the millions. Are we producing? Now look at it. Are we producing anything in this country when 80% of our GDP is all borrowed? The World Bank is crying for us. The World Bank boss, Pierre Laporte, is saying that we have to be careful, or else we would be in crisis. My brother, my sister, let us look at this thing very carefully. Let us open our ears and our eyes, or else this country is going to descend into some abyss that will be difficult to bring back. Hey, I don't have a problem with people who are rich. You could be as rich as ever. What are you doing with your riches? Yes, you made your money. What are you doing with your riches? Are you supporting other people in the society? Because no man lives alone, no man is an island. But some people are so capitalist minded. All they think about is money and property. They have no love for humanity. They can kill you to make money. After all, human life is nothing to them. But there are some too who are lazy. They only believe in lala sulala. Are we going to start production? Bust, my brother, my sister, we are told owes a lot of money, 400 million. They have come out to say it's not true. My brother, my sister, it's on to them. Just check it out. 400 million Ghana cedis. And boss says it's not true. Yes, bulk oil, whatever, transport. My brother, my sister, remember the work of our heroes. Remember how they sacrificed to see us here. This is the Black Pot, a.k.a. Kukushonamo. Remember, we are live on Pan-African TV, also live on Ghana Web TV. We are also live on Loud Silence TV, and live on our YouTube page, which is the Black Empire Media. And Black is spelled B-L-A-K-K. B-L-A-K-K. Black Empire Media. Yes. And, boy, Skipper George.